Imagine waking up every morning free from fear. No hesitation, no second guessing. Just stepping into the world with confidence, ready to embrace whatever comes your way. But now, think about how fear has shaped your life. How many chances have you let slip away? How often have you avoided taking risks, settling for comfort instead of growth? Fear is a survival mechanism, one of the most primal emotions we experience. But what happens when it starts controlling us? Today, we're diving deep into the truth about fear, what it really is, how it manifests, and, most importantly, how to break free from its grip. We'll draw from philosophy, psychology, and real-life strategies to help you reclaim your power. And by the end of this journey, you'll discover a truth so profound that fear will never control you the same way again. So, what is fear really? Where does it come from? Why does it have such a hold on us? At its core, fear is a response to uncertainty. Our brains are wired to protect us from danger, and this instinct has been with us since the dawn of time. Our ancestors needed fear to survive, to avoid predators, to escape threats. But in our modern world, this instinct often misfires. We're no longer running from wild animals, yet our minds perceive things like social rejection, financial instability, or failure as existential threats. The philosopher Seneca once said, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." And that's the first great truth about fear. Most of it isn't real. It's not the situation itself that paralyzes us, but the stories we tell ourselves about what might happen. Psychologists call this catastrophizing, imagining the worst possible outcome, even when there's little evidence to support it. Fear convinces us that failure is inevitable, rejection is unbearable, and uncertainty is dangerous. But here's the paradox. Fear itself is often worse than the thing we fear. The anticipation of failure is often more painful than failing. The fear of rejection is often more crippling than rejection itself. So, how do we stop letting fear dictate our lives? Step 1. Awareness. You can't overcome what you don't acknowledge. Pay attention to your thoughts. Catch yourself when you're spiraling into worst-case scenarios. Ask yourself, is this fear based on reality, or is it just my imagination running wild? Step 2. Reframe fear. Instead of seeing fear as an enemy, view it as a teacher. Fear of failure teaches resilience. Fear of rejection teaches self-worth. Fear of the unknown teaches courage. The difference between those controlled by fear and those who conquer it isn't the absence of fear, it's their relationship with it. Step 3. Take action. Fear loses its power when we face it head-on. Psychologists call this exposure therapy. The more we avoid our fears, the stronger they become. But every time we confront them, they weaken. If you fear public speaking, start small. Speak up in a group. If you fear failure, take a small risk. With each step, your brain learns, I survived. It wasn't that bad. And over time, what once seemed terrifying becomes second nature. But there's one last truth about fear, one that changes everything. Fear isn't a wall blocking your path, it's a doorway. What if the thing you're most afraid of is actually pointing you toward growth? The philosopher Joseph Campbell once said, "The cave you fear to enter holds the treasure you seek." Your comfort zone feels safe, but it's also a trap. Growth doesn't happen there. Every meaningful experience in your life, the moments that shaped you, came from stepping beyond what was familiar. So ask yourself, what would my life look like if I didn't let fear make my decisions? Fear will never completely disappear, but that's not the goal. The goal is to fear less, to feel the fear and move forward anyway. And when you do, you'll realize something powerful. The life you dream of isn't waiting beyond fear, it's waiting through it. So, if not now, when? And if not you, who? Live boldly. The world is yours.